Hello everyone, I hope you're getting excited for the 11/11 portal that is today. Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the Indigo Jo channel and I am an intuitive tarot reader. Today is 11/11, or it will be when I upload this video, and just so you know, it's a great portal for manifestation. So I hope that you guys are scripting, journaling today, and just kind of mapping out what are the things that you want to bring into your life. Now let's get into the reading. We're going to be answering the question of what do people admire about you? So really going to just be diving deep into the attributes and the traits that you have that people really admire. And these could be personality traits, these could be the way you handle certain situations, talents that you have, really anything about you that people are drawn to and inspires them, basically. I have the 3 piles that you can choose from right in front of me. We have hematite, spirit quartz, and petrified wood. So it goes from left to right. So hematite would be first, spirit quartz would be second, and then petrified wood would be third. As soon as you've chosen which pile is the right one for you, go ahead and click on the timestamp that I put in the description below for the reading. Hi pile 1, this is for those of you who chose the hematite crystal pile. Let's get started on reading. Let's see. Okay. So looking at the hematite crystal card that you've chosen, there's actually a face in here that looks a bit intimidating. Yeah, really intimidating. So I feel like these people, people around you, they admire that you are like a powerful force. Like you are kind of intimidating, and in a way that's almost a little bit like magnetic, like very powerful, seductive. They admire your sexiness, I guess. Like you guys kind of have this really magnetic quality to you, and they know not to mess with you. It's like people know that like you have this great calmness, like this bright blue, light blue aura around you. So it's like you're this great person, but at the same time you know how to defend yourself, and people will not push your buttons. Like they know better than to do that. And I think that's what people admire about you, is that you have this very commanding quality to you, but at the same time you're a really good person. And also hematite itself as a stone is like a grounding stone. It's all about finding your center. It's all about being one with nature. So I feel like that is what people admire about you as well, that you know how to ground yourself and you know how to be at one with nature. So we also have the Libra card. So you guys could be a Libra, or you're just kind of exhibiting qualities of a Libra. And from this card, what I get is that you guys are very attractive. So people think that you are physically very appealing. I feel like this girl, when I look at her in the picture, I always think that she's so like hot. Like she's got that like fiery spirit, but then her features on the outside, like she's got the flowy pink hair and a nice body, and it's like that's how people see you, is like you're this force on the inside, and then on the outside you're just this beautiful person, whether you identify as female or male or any gender at all, not being specific. Either way, it's like these people think that you're attractive, they think that you dress really well, they think that you know how to make yourself look even more appealing, like you know how to accentuate your own features, you know how to accessorize, and then at the same time you guys are really all about justice, you're all about fairness, you're all about equality. So you guys could be really into human rights, civil rights, you could be activists in some way, you could be animal rights activists, but either way it's like you're a born leader and you're all about justice. So you have this high sense of morality, and everything goes back to your morals. If something seems morally wrong, you're not going to do it. If something seems off, like as far as your personal moral values go, you will not do it. It's like you have this almost like stubborn, but in a good way, sense of what you view as being okay and what you view as not being okay. So people really admire that, like your moral compass. And then we have the Empress. And with the Empress, it's almost the same thing I'm getting. It's like that commanding energy, but in the best way. And even if you guys don't identify as being feminine, it's like you are abundant. You have a softness to you, but like a commanding softness. So it's almost like you know how to rule, but not necessarily with an iron fist. It's like you can be soft sometimes as well. So that makes for a really great leader, I think. Someone who's able to be soft, and yet people will always follow them and listen to what they say. And a lot comes from it, I think. I think you're able to grow a big harvest, and you reap a lot of rewards from the way that you lead, not just in your life, but in group settings with other people. People really admire you as a leader, and they think you are very prosperous and abundant. And also, just a side note, I don't know if this is gonna ring true for anyone, but I kind of get like visions of like Egypt and Cleopatra, and just you're admired as a leader, and it's almost as if people think that whatever you want, you can just like point to it and get it somehow. So I think they also kind of see you as being this powerful manifester, like the magician. I'm getting like the magician tarot card even. So you know how to use all of the tools in your life, like what you have available to you, you can alchemize and turn into gold basically. So you have that like Midas touch to you. And then with the envy card here, I feel like you also, like you have a lot of admirers, but you also have people who are kind of envious of you and envious that you have a lot of admirers. There are some people who kind of like see you shine and they see you in the gold here, because we also have like with the Empress card, she's in gold, and then here outside is gold, but then there's someone inside that's like dark. So I feel like they see you as being like kind of golden or shining. It's almost like you left people kind of in the dark a little bit is what I'm getting. So I feel like you have some people who think that you might have left them behind or left them in the dark, or they want you to notice them. It's like they are noticing you, but they feel like they wish that you would notice them more, and they get a little envious of your shine and just how many people view you, I guess. Additional message that I'm getting, maybe some people might think that you are hiding your darker feelings inside, like the way you portray yourself to the world is this bright shining light, but then when you're sad, you don't show that to the world. You kind of keep that inside and you keep that away from people, and they kind of wish you would open up more about struggles that you're having as well. And maybe you like to mask your feelings and you only kind of show the actions you're taking instead of your feelings. And I think a lot of people, they admire that about you, that you can kind of put aside your feelings to get things done. Okay. And then we have the World card. So with the World card, it's like they see that you have a lot of admirers. You might be in the public eye. A lot of people have access to you. A lot of people can see you. So you might be like big on social media, because the World kind of also signifies social media as well. But also with that, it's like you have a world of possibilities. Like you can make anything a possibility. people see that even when you're sad, you can turn that around because you're like this light, like there's a gleaming spot on the world, basically. So it's like in a crowd of people, you're this bright light, this bright shining energy, and they really admire your happiness, your glow, your positivity. And I think a lot of people who are feeling kind of in hermit mode or feeling kind of in the dark, they can see your light, and that kind of guides them. So I think you're kind of inspirational to a lot of people. So I don't know if you guys do guidance work or just post a lot about the things that you're accomplishing, but I think people see that as an inspiration in their own life and how they can change their life around and also be prosperous. So also we have self-love. I love this card because this girl is shining. So it's like, you know how to pamper yourself, you know how to love yourself, you know the importance of loving yourself, and you really know how to connect with a higher power, or how to meditate, how to clear your mind and purify your body. And that's what people see about you. That's what they admire about you. They think you treat your body really well. They think you have a nice body also. You dress really well, and you know how to get in touch with your feminine side. So you know how to be soft, you know how to flow with whatever comes to you, go with the flow. And you might even just have like a really soft energy. So they find your energy to be very comforting and nurturing, almost like a mothering type. And they know it's because you know how to love yourself. They know that you've gone through a lot in life. You've gotten to a point where you have become your own source of happiness, and through that you're able to fill your cup and then help fill other people's cups. So it's like you have healed yourself enough to the point where you can love other people unconditionally, and a lot of people admire that about you. We have victory. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So with this card, I feel like I said before, people think that you are prosperous, but it's like not only that, it's like you're a winner. It's like when you set your mind to something, you don't just do it, you also do it better than other people. I mean, this is what's coming through. It's like if you are training for a race or something, you don't just finish the race, you place. Like you do, like you get first, second, or third place or something. It's like you don't just do the thing, you do the thing well, and you come out on top, and people really admire that about you. And also it says your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So it's like you have this very strong spiritual connection to a higher power, and people admire that about you, your spirituality, whether you're religious or not. You it's like you put your mind to something, you pray about it, you meditate about it, you make a plan, and then you do the thing. Then we have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? So basically, I feel like people view you as like the woman in this photo, and she has like all of her chakras are lit up, her hands are out, basically pushing the negative, like the draining energies around her out. So it's like you have these great boundaries that you set, and you know how to repel the energy vampires. You know how to really respect your space, your body, your energy. You know how to heal your energy. You could work with that. You could be a Reiki healer or any type of energy healer, and know how to recharge your own chakras, balance your chakras, recharge your energy. So you've gotten to the point as an empath, which I feel like you guys are very empathic. You've gotten to the point where you have realized what drains your energy and what doesn't, and so you've set up boundaries. You've probably had to cut a few people out of your life, but I think people see your boundaries and they admire your boundaries, because maybe there are some people who wish they knew how to do that, or they wish they were courageous enough to set those boundaries, and they're seeing you do it and they're really admiring you for that. And then lastly, we have moving forward, get ready for positive change. So with this card, I feel like you kind of have this almost out of this world kind of energy, like this otherworldly quality to you. So that's why I'm thinking you could be like an Aquarius, or you could be any air sign. I feel like you guys could be an air sign. Well, we have Libra here, so you guys could be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, or you could have that somewhere in your birth chart. But you have this quality to you that's so like out there and different, and you're not afraid to show that to the world. And sometimes people think you can be a little bit cold, but that's something they admire about you, so it's not anything to worry about. It's like, you know who you are, and if someone doesn't like it, then they don't like it, sort of thing. And that's what people love. It's like, wow, I wish that I could be that way almost. And I feel like you guys have a strong connection with animals. Like maybe you are animal rights activists. I think I've said this before in this reading, but you do what you can to help the animals. And I feel like maybe in the future you're gonna act on that a little bit more. And I don't know, I'm just seeing really good work with animals for you guys. So maybe you guys have a few pets as well. But people really, like I said, they see you as like almost this otherworldly galactic queen, space queen out here. You guys could be starseeds too, but just shining your light and being authentic and speaking your mind. And the more you do that, I think the more people are just gonna be drawn to you. The more you speak your mind and the more you show who you really are, you're just gonna have more and more admirers. So you guys are moving forward. I see there's a positive change coming is what I'm getting from this card. So I think, like I said, just keep moving forward and keep being authentic and speaking your truth, and you'll definitely see some positive changes coming in. All right, so that is all I have for you, pile one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you in one of my future videos. Thanks, bye. Hi, pile two. This is for those of you who chose the Spirit Quartz crystal card pile. Let's get started on your reading. Okay, so pile two, what I'm seeing with the Spirit Quartz crystal card is that people admire that you have a strong connection to a higher power, to your religion, to your faith. Either that, or you just seem like someone who's pretty optimistic. Like you seem like someone who has everything together. Like you know that things are going to work out, and people view you as being very calming, because when they feel like they're freaking out, they can come to you and know that you're just going to be solid. Like you're just going to be like, no, everything's fine. Like everything's going to be okay. And you may not know this, but people view you as being very calming in that way because they trust you. It's like they know that they can come to you and whatever you say is going to be very insightful and it's going to calm them down. Also, knowing that Spirit Quartz is a crystal all about like cooperation, I feel like they could see you as being very cooperative in like whatever community that you feel like you're a part of. You are like a team player. Like you are very fair with people. You want to be like a good mediator for people, and you're just very friendly and all around a trustworthy person. So they see that and they admire that about you. You also are very like there's a big light coming from this person is what I see. So I feel like they see you as being like this really beautiful, pure light. So I just think people view you as being really kind and genuinely kind. So that is beautiful. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a face here, and the face is kind of like looking up to the sky, and their eyes are closed, and they just seem really happy. Like they've got this like really calm smile. And I think that's how people view you, and what they admire about you is that you're like, don't worry, everything's good, everything's covered, like Hakuna Matata, kind of like Bob Marley, Three Little Birds. I don't know. I had that stuck in my head earlier today, so maybe that's why. It's like you guys kind of have that energy to you where it's like everything's good, everything's taken care of, and people really admire that about you. And then we have Neptune. So you guys could be Pisces, or if not, you could have prominent Neptune in your astrological birth charts. And I see you as like rising, because the man in this photo is, or the man in this portrait is just kind of like, he's leaning back. He's got his his head's back, his eyes are closed, and it's almost the same as in this card, which you probably can't see because my camera is not the best, but it's like these two faces in these cards are matching. It's like someone with their eyes, with their head tilted back, their eyes closed, looking up to the sky. It's like you're letting go, like you're surrendering to whatever comes your way, and you are very faithful in that way. Like you have a lot of faith in the universe or a higher power. You know that everything's going to be okay, so you surrender to those energies, and people really admire that about you. Also, if you guys identify as being like a masculine or a male, I feel like they think that you're very comforting. Like you've got like a really healed masculine energy, and you've got, it's like daddy energy. Like, I don't know, I look at this guy in this card and I just think like daddy. It's like that, almost like how you would think of like a really good father, like someone who's supportive, someone who keeps you safe, makes you feel at home, makes you feel comfortable, someone who listens to you. I think you're just all around a really good, reliable friend and person, and that's what people admire about you. I think you guys might even be very in tune with energies. Like you could have these like psychic abilities to really empathize with people, and that's what makes you such great listeners, and that's what people really admire, is that they feel seen and heard and understood by you. And you're really good with communicating as well. And then we have the patience card. So I feel like you guys are really caring. You have such big hearts, and you're so patient with people. Like you're so understanding with people. I feel like you would make a really good parent, or if you are a parent, people think that you're a great parent. Like you're so caring and kind. Or if you have any pets, it's like you're very patient and kind with your pets. And you really give people the time that they need to grow and mature and to overcome whatever they're dealing with. Even if they say something out of anger because they're upset, it's like you give people that patience and that kindness and that compassion to overcome whatever it is that they're dealing with and move to a better space. And then we have happy family. So like I said before, I feel like you guys, either you have children, or you are in a committed relationship, or you just have a really big family, or you're really close with your family, and people really admire that you can connect so well with families, or even just in a community, in a group of friends. It's like you're the mom or you're the dad, or you are very reliable, and that's very admirable to a lot of people. They view you as being a nurturer, a teacher even, someone who teaches and has a pure heart, a childlike heart, someone who's just a real family person. And we have healing. So I think people admire that you have a healing energy to you. It's like when they sit down with you, they automatically feel better, like they feel more calm. You guys could be like therapists or guidance counselors, but either way, you're really good with that. You're really good with understanding people from a place of compassion and no judgment. Like you're not judgmental. You just really want to hear people out, and even you doing that alone is healing for those people. But aside from that, you guys could actually be healers. So you could work in the medical field, or you could be spiritual healers, so Reiki healers, tarot card readers even. But your energy is warm and healing, and it helps a lot of people. And I think they see that you've gotten to the place where you can have that sort of energy because you've healed yourself, and you constantly are working on yourself, and you're in the process of healing right now even, and people see that and they admire your strength, because maybe you were in a place before where you were a little sad, or you were going through depression or anxiety, and they used to be able to see that on your face, where you were not in the happiest, not in the best place, and they admire that you were able to pull yourself out of that, and you still are, and you're healing, and that's amazing and very admirable. Oh, we have soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So we have another family card, which is kind of crazy to me because I'm getting so much family energy from this. So if you have a family, people really admire how you treat your family, how you treat your children, how you treat your significant other, or they think that you would be a very good significant other, like a long-term partner, a good family person, a good mother, a good father. People really admire your spirit and your soul, and they view you as being quite spiritual, actually. You might identify with whales. I think that's a dolphin. Hold on. Whales and dolphins too. I would look into that. Whales and dolphins. I do believe if you resonate with starseeds, that would probably be the Syrian starseeds. So I would look into that if you feel called to. But basically, you guys are really healing. Like I said, you kind of have this water energy to you, so you could be water signs. That's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Really emotional, open, like emotionally available. Like you guys, or even if you don't feel like you are, you're getting to that place where you are like opening your heart and becoming more emotionally available. But I think people see your sensitive side. Like you have a sensitive side, and people really admire that about you, that you're able to recognize your emotions and communicate them in some way. So it's beautiful. Also, if you have, like, I don't know, I feel like if you're a part of a community, they view you as being like their family almost, like their soul tribe. Like they really, really love your energy and having you around. And I think they're really grateful to have you around. And maybe they don't say that to you enough, and that's why this is coming through, just so you can know that people really do admire you and are grateful to have you in their lives. And then we have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So I feel like people, like I said, view you as being healing, and you are healing for the earth. I think you care about the earth. Like maybe you are all about conserving energy, or you're about climate change. You care about actually what happens with the earth and what's going on with nature and all of these different problems that the earth has been having lately. Like you are very vocal about that. You care about that. You speak up about that. And you might even have a connection to Lemuria if you look that up as well. But basically, you're a kind and caring and considerate person, and people really admire that. Prioritize. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. So I feel like people view you as being organized and motivated, and it's like they admire that you have a lot of your priorities straight, basically. Like you have a lot of goals and you prioritize them, and you know how to get things done. You really care. So wherever place you work at, I think your coworkers really admire that you actually care about getting the work done. It's like your priority. Like if you look at the photo, this man, the angel, which is Archangel Metatron, is holding this golden bowl with the light of, I think it's the violet flame, but basically it's like this beautiful light coming out of the golden bowl, and his eyes are glued to it. It's like, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. It's like, this is important. And I think people see you like that, especially at your workplace or in whatever work you do. They see you as actually being very attentive to details and being very caring about what happens and what goes on in your workplace. And then lastly, we have new beginnings, begin your new life. So I just get so much sense of like rising up. And with this card, it kind of mirrors like the Neptune card, where you have the Phoenix here, I believe, rising up from the ashes, rising from the fire. And then you have this Neptune man rising up from the darkness. And it's like, that's you. Like, you have changed so much in your life for the better. You've really changed things around into a positive new place that you're in. And that's what people also admire about you, is like, you know how to start over. Like, if something doesn't end up the way that you like it to, you can change and adapt just like that and create a new beginning for yourself. And you're like the Phoenix, basically. You know how to bring in new changes to your life, and you know how to adapt. You're adaptable. So that's all I have for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe if you want more of these readings. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in one of my future readings. Bye. Hi, pile 3. This is for those of you who chose the Petrified Wood Crystal card pile. So let's get into your reading. So looking at the crystal card you've chosen, Petrified Wood, I get that you guys are really like spiritually in tune. Like, you're really in tune with energies around you. You guys could be like empaths. It seems like your third eye is like open. Like, people definitely see that in you, and they admire that, how you can be so connected and in tune with everything around you and what's going on. I don't know if you can see this, but there's basically like this really big spiral coming out of the face's third eye. So I also sense that people see you as being really patient, being really calm, cool, and collected. It's like you already know what the outcome is going to be before the thing even happens, so you're not worried. It's like, oh yeah, my spirit guides told me that this was going to happen, so I'm not worried. Or like, you guys just have this inner knowing that keeps you really stable and really comfortable. And I think people see that in you, and they see you as being really like healed and calm and emotionally grounded, and they really admire that about you. And then we have the Pluto card. So they see you as being really like strong. Like, maybe you've overcome a lot of challenges, just because I know that Pluto is kind of a challenging planet in the birth chart. So whatever it is in your past that you've overcome has made you really strong and made you really set in your boundaries, and maybe even a little bit cold, but in a good way. It's like in a way that keeps people like wondering what you're doing, wondering like what your next big thing is. And the mystery is very appealing to people and could be really attractive, almost like seductive, because it's like, what are they doing now? Like, what's going on in their head? It's like, you know how to keep people guessing about what you're thinking, and you don't really let on how you're feeling. And it could be because you are very in tune with energies and you don't want to give your energy away, so you've kind of learned how to shut it off and also not be susceptible to other people draining you. And I think that's admirable, because not a lot of people know how to do that. Not a lot of people know how to set boundaries. And it's almost like you don't really care how people see you. You know who you are, you know what type of person you are, you know how you feel about yourself, and you could really care less what other people think about who you are, because at the end of the day, if they don't know you, then how valuable is their opinion about you anyway? And that attitude is like really inspirational to a lot of people who don't know how to be that strong, I guess, emotionally. But seeing that this is a Pluto card, you guys could have a lot of Scorpio influence in your chart, which definitely lends to that mystery and that transformation. Like, you have a very transformative energy and quality to you that people think is really attractive and really admirable. And then we have the World card. So I just think with this, it's like a lot of people admire you. Like, a lot of people watch you and want to know what you're up to, and it could be because you're so mysterious to these people, and they might even be watching you a lot online to see, maybe get a hint about what you're doing. But they view you as being like really wise. Like, you have this wisdom to you that's almost like beyond your years, because I'm just looking at the world, and the world seems really shiny in this photo. It's like shiny and new, but this world is like ancient and wise, and like there's little, it looks like mythological figures in this globe here, and it's like they know you have this deep wisdom in you, and they don't really know where it comes from. It just kind of comes out sometimes. Like, you say things sometimes that are really like insightful and wise, and they're like, wow, that was really powerful and good advice. Like, where did that come from? And it's almost like, oh, I don't know, it's a mystery. Like, maybe it's even a mystery to you, but you're really channeling this information, or maybe you even know this about yourself, that you can just channel this really wise information. You guys could be like claircognizant and just kind of know the answer, and you don't know why you know it, you don't know how you know it, you just know the answer. And people are like kind of shocked by that, but they're like, oh, okay, it's just, I guess that's just John. Like, I don't know if you guys are John, but, or Taylor. I'm getting Taylor. There could be a Taylor out there too. So I don't know, people just are like taken aback a little bit by you sometimes, in a good way though. Then we have anxiety. So I feel like with this, it's more like people wonder about you if you experience anxiety, or maybe you've talked about experiencing anxiety before, but you don't let that show on the outside. So it's kind of just like you deal with your anxiety in the comfort of your own home or your own room, and you know how to work around it. It's like you don't let that hold you back from doing what needs to be done, and they admire that. They admire that you've pulled through the anxiety, and you know how to push past it, and you know how to balance yourself. It's like you give yourself the space to balance yourself out and to calm your anxiety, and they kind of want to learn how to do that themselves. And I feel like they kind of gain that knowledge just by watching you and how you operate with it. So, ooh. Next we have procrastination. So this to me seems more like you like being in your own space, like you like being in your own energy, and you don't mind having that time alone where you can just read a good book, you can watch a good movie. Like, maybe you're into like gothic style movies. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of this because it was just Halloween, but I'm just getting like, what is that, Victorian era romances or Victorian era period piece type films. Like, maybe you're into that, but I think you're into like this very obscure type of film or art, and you really give yourself time to indulge in different forms of literature, and they think you're very well educated. You also could have a cat or a pet that you really admire and you give a lot of love to as well. And it's like you take time, you give yourself leisure time to really indulge in those things that make life worth living, and people admire that about you. You could also wear jewelry, like a necklace, and also when you work on a project, you give yourself the time that it takes to finish it. I'm not saying you necessarily procrastinate, but you want to make sure that you have that spark of inspiration before you finish the project. While you're working on it, you want to be inspired throughout. So if you're feeling uninspired on a certain day, you give yourself time. You say, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing it today, or you really want to find that spark in you, that light in you, before you keep going on whatever project or venture that you're working on, and people find that to be admirable as well. We have, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. So, like I said before, it's you know how to deal with your anxiety, you know how to pull yourself out of it, and you tell yourself to stop overthinking and just keep doing the job, keep doing the work. You're already on track. You kind of snap yourself out of any anxious feelings you have, and then you keep going and keep working, and people find that to be very admirable. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So with this, it's kind of like I was getting before, where people see you as being really in tune with energies. I don't know if you guys channel or do any kind of divination or tarot even, but it's like you have a lot of spirit guides on your side. And if you do work with tarot or divination, I think people really admire that about you, that wisdom you have, that inner knowing. It's like you're an old soul, and you have this knowledge from lifetimes and lifetimes before you, and people really like to hear you talk. They like to go to you to get advice and to hear the wisdom that you have to offer. And I think you're also pretty open-minded. We have different leaders from different religions in this card. Jesus is over here, and I think that's Mother Mary in the center. But basically, it's you're very open-minded. You don't really judge people on any basis, on who they are at all, or by religion or by anything. You're just kind of accepting of everyone, and you treat everyone equally. And we have Spread Your Wings, Archangel Ariel. Don't hold back right now. The timing is perfect. You are ready to soar. So yeah, it's kind of when you make that choice and that commitment to just do the thing, you spread your wings and you go and you do it. And it's you have that drive and that determination that people really admire, and a lot of people like to watch you do it. And also, I feel because this photo kind of looks like a siren in Greek mythology, so it's you have that kind of siren quality to you as well, where you can tend to be very seductive almost, and that's another thing people admire. And then lastly, we have Archangel Raphael, provider of healing for mind, body, and spirit. So yeah, I think you guys have a really healing energy, or you guys are healers. Maybe that's the work that you do. We're either energy healers or medical, in the medical field. You're really good with animals and pets, really love you. And it's you just have this quality of being a guide, someone who protects people, who knows how to, it's you have the knowledge. I think you're very smart. People admire your intelligence and your wisdom and your nurturing qualities. So I think you have the ability to be a strong healer. And that's very admirable to a lot of people, that your energy is so calming and connected and healing. So that's all I have for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you in one of my future videos. Thank you. Bye.